As you can see my shirt, it says, "See my heart, not my past." And this message is special for me. And I kind of wanted to share it with you guys today. Just for everybody out there which is everybody watching this, that's, had a past. As you can see it, I love this shirt. That's been through a lot. And the reason why those words are so special to me is because, once I decided to make a change to my life, once I decided to stop living my life on repeat, once I decided to no longer be that person anymore, once I decided to no longer settle in my life, once I decided to break free from my old habits, my old ways, and I decided to embrace this journey of change, you know as well as I know, everybody isn't going to believe your change. Everybody's not going to believe your change because they don't believe in you. And that's just hard facts. Everybody's not going to support your change. A lot of people are going to be saying, that's just a facade. They're just trying to fake it. And I came up with this because when I started my change, a lot of people started to talk. A lot of people say, it's not real. Why would he leave this and do that? Like, it's not whatever, right? They try to put these labels on me that my change wasn't authentic. And it's crazy because that's how the world works. It's like people will tell you to change. People will tell you to do better. And as soon as you start changing and becoming better, they try to chain you back to your past. They try to remind you of who you used to be and what you used to do. And I tell people all the time, I say, when people bring up my past and say the things I used to do and who I used to be, I say, yes, that was me. I used to do those things. I used to think like that. I was that person that you're talking about. But I'm no longer that person. I progressed my life. I grew my life. I changed my life. I moved forward with my life. That person that you're trying to bring up, back into my life so I can go back to that. See, that's what happens a lot of times, is that people will try to bring up who you used to be so you feel guilty about your change. So you feel guilty because you have some imperfections in your life. You feel guilty because some of your life is contradiction. You might be hypocritical in some of your life because you haven't figured it out yet. Because you're trying to change. You're trying to break those habits. It's hard. Change doesn't happen overnight. Breaking habits doesn't happen overnight. Some of you might be on the fence. Some of you might be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Some of you might be still living a certain lifestyle, but you're trying to change. You're trying. And I want to applaud you. I want to salute you. You might not have it all figured out. You might backslide a little bit. You might take 3 steps forward and 1 step back. I'm proud of you because you're trying, man. And if you're trying to do better, you know what that means? You're becoming better, because one day you're going to get to a point where those desires that you used to have no longer light up your life. When those things that you used to run to that would fulfill you, those negative things, it's going to come a point when you realize that those negative things can no longer do anything for your life. But it's a journey, it's a process. And a lot of people, they don't see the journey. They don't. A lot of people will sit back and they'll try to just sit back and watch you. They won't say much. They won't say they support you. They won't say they're proud of you. They won't say, I see you. Some people might say they're not mean it. But they're not really supporting you. They're just watching just to write you off. Something I always say, and it's true. We live in a world where no matter how much right you do, people are trained to find the wrong inside you, to write you off, period. And so when I was going through my journey at first, it was hard, man. Because I'm like, these are the same people that told me I needed to change. These are the same people that told me I need to do better. Now that I'm trying to do better, now you want to remind me that I have imperfections? Now you want to remind me that I'm not all the way there? When half of the people trying to remind you that you're not all the way there are not there themselves? That's a whole nother story we can talk about. All these people trying to bring up your imperfections because they're blind to their own? So you got to realize we live in a world where people find significance and bringing other people down. We live in a world where people want to stop your progress because they're guilty that they're not having no progress in their life. And so I came up with these words. See my heart, not my past. Don't judge me by who you used to know, who I used to be, because I'm no longer that person. I'm a better man. I'm a better person. And so I want to share that with you guys tonight out there, because I know it's a lot of people, probably almost everybody on this live right now, that you want to change, but you keep being chained to your past, right? And people be like, who are you to change your life? Who are you to think you can do better? Because I know the real you. No, they don't know the real you. What they knew is the old you. And a lot of people are still stuck on the old you. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people don't want to see you become a better you because they benefited from the old you. Because they benefit from the old you. And so they're not going to influence or inspire, should I say, or motivate you to keep changing, because as you change, so does things around you change. Your mindset changes, your life changes, your circle changes. And a lot of people that benefited from the old you, they don't want to see you become new. They don't want to see you become better. They don't want to see you become greater. Why? Because they can no longer benefit from that. Because they're stuck in the past. And so don't get discouraged when people don't encourage you. Don't get discouraged when people point out your flaws. Don't get discouraged when people tell you that you're not perfect, because they're not perfect. As long as you know your heart, God knows your heart. As long as you know you're putting the effort as best as you can to become a better man or a better woman, you tell them to see your heart, not your past. And that's on them, what they want to see. But don't allow people to bring you back to a place that you know you're no longer supposed to be at. And I feel you. I understand it, because it still happens to me at times. There's people that still chain me to my past. Oh, that's Trent. I know how he used to be. I knew him. Him? I knew how he used to be. And you got to understand something. A lot of people are beneficial when it comes to supporting you, not supporting you. They're very picky when it comes to knowing you or not knowing you. A lot of people are chameleons, as I call them. They'll just blend in with whatever the energy, the environment is that's surrounding your name. So if the energy and the vibe around your name, if they're in a certain environment and the energy in that environment is, oh, that's a bad person, then they're going to say you a bad person. They ain't going to stand up for you. They're going to just join in on the conversation. And that's a whole nother conversation about friends and the people you're around. But a lot of people, what they're going to do, they're going to just join in on the conversation. They're going to down you. They're going to talk about all the bad things you did when there's no benefit in talking good about you. But those same exact people, when the vibe, the energy, and the environment is good, it's good when it comes to your name, when it comes to your life, then that's when they're going to say they know you. That's when they're going to say they proud of you. Like, I want you to get around people that no matter what the environment is, no matter what the energy is that's surrounding your name, they're going to say they proud of you because you came from somewhere and you going somewhere. You might not be where you want to be yet, but you moving somewhere. And you got to have people around you that support you no matter what the circumstances are. No matter what the energy is around your name. Because they know that you're consciously making a conscious decision, a real decision to better yourself. And so you know your heart. Don't let people chain you to your past, man. Use your past as fuel to better your future. Use your past as fuel to transform other people's lives. Use your past as fuel to teach lessons to other people to help them not make the same mistakes. You have to understand your past qualifies you. Your past qualifies you to help others get through it. You went through it to help others get through it. Because if you never went through it, how could you ever help somebody else get through it? If it wasn't for the things that I went through, how could I ever do what I do today? So I'm thankful for my past, but I'm not my past. But those things that I wasn't proud of, I'm still not proud of today, turned me into a man that I'm now proud of and other people are too. And so I want to encourage you watching this. Yes, you. I want to encourage you to make sure the world sees your heart and not your past. And if they can't see it, they become blind to it. They don't want to see it. They are choosing to stay blind to it. That's their fault. But don't let them make you give up on your change. People are going to talk about you. You can't control that. People are going to say bad things about you. You can't control that. People are going to gossip about you. You can't control that. What you can control is you progressing your life. What you can't control is how you respond with your life. What you can't control is continue to move forward. Because they can talk all that they want, but guess what? As you're moving forward, their gossip, I'm going to say this, I'm going to get off of here. Their gossip is not going to add up to your life. So they can say all these negative things about you, but when people see you, it doesn't add up. Because your life will speak louder than their gossip. Your life will speak louder than their negativity. Your life will speak louder than their rumors. Your life will speak louder than the shame they try to place upon you. You can't control what they say or what they do, but you can control how it affects you. So you keep moving forward. You let nothing hold you back. You hear me? Like, I'm proud of you. I don't care how bad your past was. I don't care what you've been through. I'm proud of you for deciding not to surrender to that thing. I'm proud of you, and tell them to see your heart, not your past, man. Don't look at my past. Look at my life. Look at my present. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you look at my future of where I'm going with my life or how I'm changing my life or what I plan to do in my life, if God willing, you look at my future, you're going to be applauding right now. Because I ain't going back, that's for sure, no matter what you say. You can talk, you can gossip, you can do all of that. But it ain't going to change me. And some of us, what happens is we're too worried about that. Like, understand, a hater can't stop you. There's a world full of people, even if it's few. Maybe it's not a world for you, but there's a lot of people who are going to see you for your greatness, who's going to see you with no judgment, who's going to see you for your gifts, for your talents. And those people will support you. I use this analogy. I said, who in here knows me personally? And maybe 10% of the room raised their hand. So 90% of the people in there didn't know me personally or never knew who I was. Besides, Trent, Mr. RehabTime. And I use that analogy to show people, for one, you don't need the people around you to support you. Like, it helps, it feels great, it's awesome if they do, but you don't need it. For two, haters can't stop you unless you give them permission to. Because there's people in this world that's going to support you. There's love in this world that people are going to give, and that love will conquer that hate. Don't let 2% of hate stop you from seeing the 98% of love. Don't let those who don't support you make you blind to those who do. Think about that. So let the people bring up your past. Let the people bring up everything, whatever. That's a part of your story that I will never tell you to hide. When I talk on stage, I talk about my past. I talk about the things that I went through. I talk about the things that I used to do. And I also talk about how much I've grown. And God gets the glory for that. So I need you to step up to the plate and stop letting people hold your change back. Because the number one thing that I get from people is, Trent, I'm afraid to be judged. Trent, you don't know like everything that I've been through. Trent, people are bringing up this. People are bringing up that. Who cares? Let them talk, man. Let them talk and give them something great to talk about. Let them keep talking about old things while you keep doing new things. They ain't going to talk about those new things. They ain't going to talk about the greatness that you're doing. They're not going to talk about the change you displaying. They're not going to talk about how much your life is growing. They're going to talk about the old things. Because that's all they can talk about. That makes them feel good about themselves because they're still in the same place. See, a lot of people who talk about your progression or try to change to your past, the reason they do that is because they're still there with their life. You hear me? They're still there with their life. And so when they see somebody progressing and changing, eats them up because they want to have that courage. They want to have that discipline. They want to have that commitment. They want to have that faith. They want to have that heart. But they ain't got it. It's in them. But for whatever reason, they don't want to display it. Whatever fear is holding their life back. So what do? They try to make you feel guilty about yours. You know, I teach a lot about understanding. So when you understand that, those things can't hold you back. Because when I first started, it would get to me. I'd be like, man, like these are the same people that told me I should change my life. And now when I change my life, they want to talk about my life? How does that work? Man, I thought people wanted to see me win. Now that I'm winning, they talking about how much a loser I am? Man, I thought these are the people that wanted to see me do better. Now that I'm doing better, all they want to talk about is how I don't deserve it. But that's life. And when I realized that couldn't hold me back, I stopped looking back. I let people know, listen, I don't care what you say. Talk. Gossip. Create lies. Spread rumors. Whatever makes you feel good about yourself, whatever makes you feel better about not changing, do it. Because one thing is for sure, you ain't stopping this progress. One thing is for sure, your words, your lies, they're not stopping this journey. There's so many people out there that has so much more to their life. But they're so afraid because society has painted this picture that we have to be perfect in order to help other people. Where did that come from? There's so many people that has so much in them to give, to help, to inspire, to impact. But they're so afraid because they know the people around them, the people that they used to know in high school, the people that's around their city, gonna talk about them. And so they would just rather be quiet, stay in their pain, stay in their past, than to embrace those things. But like I said, when you realize those things will not stop you, those things, especially when you're genuinely changing, like you got to change. I'm not talking about just keep doing the same things and telling the world to see my heart, not my past. Nah, you got to change. But I'll leave you with this. What are you going to do about it, all right? Thank you, guys. Let's get it.